you've eaten that entire cake. You've wolfed down that whole bag of chips. You feel guilty, you feel sick, you feel tired, but you still don't feel entirely full or satisfied. You've gone from feeling hungry to feeling sick and tired. And a short time later, the cycle starts all over again. This is the exact cycle that Grace had been in for years. And the same cycle you and other women or men struggling with weight loss are in right now. That's a scientific fact. You see, it's not your fault you took just 1, 2, or 3 more slices of pizza or decided to finish off that tray of cookies. You don't lack willpower. It's all down to your inability to turn off your hunger. But what causes leptin resistance? Well, couldn't find a single precise and distinctive answer on exactly why it happens in the first place, and why this has started only in the last 50 years. Look at this graph. Overweight people barely existed in the 1950s. Dr. Matthews himself stated that the medical industry isn't exactly sure where leptin resistance comes from, only why it is bad for us and that is increasing at a rapid rate. A recent report published by OECD based in Paris, France, predicts that 75% of all American adults will be obese and leptin resistant by 2020 if things don't change. You may be thinking that it's because we're eating more, right? Well, remember that cycle of leptin resistance? Leptin resistance causes overeating and therefore more fat, not the other way around. So if your overeating was simply a symptom of leptin resistance, what was the cause? How do you or Grace get leptin resistance before all the weight gain began? For weeks, I devoured everything the library had to offer. I read through hundreds of dusty old medical journals. I visited universities, spoke to doctors, endocrinologists, alternative therapists, and even Chinese herb doctors for help. But I found nothing new. Just the same old tired advice of eat less, exercise more, and count calories. Advice that you or any other person struggling with weight loss listening to my story today has heard a million times before. I felt like I'd hit a brick wall, and after weeks of research, I was nowhere. Until I had left online posts on forums and message boards requesting any information that could help Grace. I spoke with a man I'll call Jonah, who has asked to remain anonymous to protect his identity. For 10 years, Jonah had been working at America's biggest weight loss brand with an annual revenue of over $1 billion. You know, the kind that ship you those healthy meals, shakes, and meal plans every month, until he became sick of what the weight loss industry had become and was fired for finally speaking up against his greedy CEOs and voicing his concerns. Over our call, he revealed to me the 3 biggest and closely guarded lies of the weight loss industry. And it was because, in his own words, the whole industry was a giant and deliberate fraud, which makes billions every year, not by helping you lose weight, but by actively making you fatter. As Jonah explained, the moment you feel your belly get a little squishy and your hips getting a bit wobblier, you're encouraged to stop eating so much food, stop eating carbohydrates, and restrict your calories. Sound familiar, right? But the big problem here is that from this moment on, your waist size and health is destined to only get worse, not better. After all, when was the last time you went on a diet and perhaps lost some weight and the weight stayed off forever? It's never happened, right? And this is the big weight loss lie number 1. Dieting helps you lose weight. In a huge study carried out by researchers at the University of Helsinki of 2,452 women and 2,227 men, researchers found that among both women and men, irregular eating and a history of dieting in order to lose weight were 2 of the key factors that actually led to weight gain, not weight loss.